linear. Yeah. You know, 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2
Time?
is 4. I mean, but that's not
9:32 a.m. So today, I will not be tweeting anything about what goes on in my in this app. You can see that. I will not be tweeting anything that goes on in this app. You can see that. So no tweet will go on, will be made about anything going on in this app today. What will happen is that I will momentarily capture data on this. That's what will be happening today. I will momentarily capture data, but there will be no tweets going on with regards to any of this. You can see that? The end. It just got in. You can see that? It just got in. So here's where we are.
To protect your interests, what you now do is to see how you can sustain that flood system. Even when you know privately that this system is not sustainable, that is not going to achieve what
see that?
I remember a time.
So what will happen is that GNS will go beyond 29 today. You know why? Because if it stays there tomorrow, I'll be buying more.
And the reason why it's not working is that it cannot be in Abuja.
That's what will happen.
In Zamfara.
But here's where we are. I'm going to touch it for them to know that I am here.
And the people that are in charge.
I'm going to touch it.
But if you give them the
this is AHT.
And say, please,
there is no trade going on in this stock. You can see that completely.
Please give us 200 naira.
See that? There is not a single trade going on. No trade has gone on in the stock. Time now is 9:34. 9:34 a.m. 9:34 a.m. It still has 380,000 shares from yesterday. Not a single trade has gone on in the stock. Not one. You can see that? Look at the time. 9:34 a.m. Yesterday, see that? Immediately after I touched it, it goes from 1.15 to 1.1790. You can see that? Look at the time. 9:35 a.m. You can see that? Immediately after I touched it, let me show you the volume so you can see that for yourself. You can see that? Volume 3,970 shares. You can see that? 3,970 shares. 3,970 shares. Time 9.35. 9.35. 3,970. 1.15 to 1.1790. 380k yesterday. 380k on 6/4/24. 9:35 was the first trade. First trade. First trade. HT. HT. Turned computer on. Turned on tablet. 9.32. Okay, can see that for yourself. Can see that? So there's a need to involve more power. Okay, I'm going to pause this video now.
Very educational.
I'm going to pause this video now. What will happen in the next few minutes, 9:36 now, what will happen is that they will try to shut down the app. When they do that, I will capture that detail and then I will put the entire information on Twitter. See that? You see that? I won't do anything until the next few minutes. 9:45. That's when I will tweet. 9:45. Can see that? So the 3,970 was just to do a trade, nothing more. Time now is 9:38. 9:38 a.m. 9:38 a.m. Let me show you because I want to capture this data. The volume now is 540 shares, 5,400 shares. 5,400 shares by 9:38. 9:38. You see that? Simultaneously, 9:39, 9.39 GNS drops to 0.2820. GNS drops to 0.2820. You see that? I don't even have to, I'm just have to capture that. See, I see the volume. 230,000 shares is the volume. 230,000 shares.
In the last 10 years, has slowed since the year 2000. And so scientists say emissions have indeed rebounded since the COVID-19 pandemic.
See this?
I'll come back to the whole online dimension, but
You see that? 21,000 shares. That's the volume. Right? Time 9:45. 9:45 is the time. Can see that? 9:45. And then this one, 349,000 shares. And see this? 9:46 goes to 120. 9:46. 9:46.
International cooperation is key here. Terrorism, I would call, is not, I would say, is a cross-border phenomenon, which means that I never speak about countries of origin.
I want to capture it so everybody can see it. 23,970 shares.
you mentioned online radicalization. Of course, the EU did adopt a regulation to address the
And see that?
terrorist content online.
Dropped to 28 to be able to match the 2871. Can see that? Dropped to 28 to be able to match the 28. Can see that? 1.18, 0.28. Can see that for yourself? Can see the time? 9:47 a.m. Can see that? Can see the correlation on the times? Can see that? Can see that? Time 9:49. 9:49 a.m. 9:49 a.m. June 5, 2024. Can see that? 9:49 a.m. June 5, 2024. Time 9:51 a.m. 9:51 a.m. June 5, 2024. Can see that? Can see that? Nrde 151.57, 1.56. GNS 0.2750 for the first time in, I can't even remember, but let's see. See that? 500 shares, right? Can see that? 500 shares drops Nrde to 156. GNS, see that? 537.34. See that? 500 shares. I'm gonna, time now is 9:55. Can see that? Can see AHT 1.18. Let's capture it again. Time now is 9:59 a.m. This is the volume on AHT. Yesterday it was 380,000 shares. Consider 25,000 shares. Right? GNS, back again, 578,000 shares. Consider 0.2771. Okay? Nrde, 683 shares. Consider 1.56. Okay? Time 10 a.m. 10 a.m. now. 10 a.m. Consider. Consider. Time 10.07. 10.07 a.m. 10.07 a.m. 6/5/2024. Consider. Time 10:15 a.m. 10:15 a.m. 10:15 a.m. June 6, June 5, 2024. Consider time now. 10:23 a.m. 10:23 a.m. 10:23 a.m. June 5, 2024. June 5, 2024. Consider. Time 10:28 a.m. 10:28 a.m. 10:28 a.m. 10:28 a.m. 10:28 a.m. June 5, 2024. June 5, 2024. So 10:33 a.m. I just came back in now to this, and you can see where it is. The computer was the thing was timed out. My tablet was timed out while I was working, and so I just came back now to this, and this is where it is now. 121. AHT is now 121, the highest it has been in almost 1 week of trading. And yesterday it was sold down to 1.15 as the criminals monitor me and sell it down. This is where it is now. And part of it, they have nowhere else to go. The company sold a property yesterday for an enormous amount. That is almost double the amount of his share capital, his market cap. And despite that, 380,000 shares were sold yesterday by these criminals, as they needed to sell it down to 1.16, which was the price that they pushed it down almost 4 days in a row, and also on April 26, 2024, when they were tracking me. And so this is where we are. My plan had been to buy more tomorrow, to add about 2,000 or 3,000 more tomorrow. But this is where we are. I own a lot of the shares, and if you go to Stalked, you will see the value that people are placing on this stock, almost as much as $7.50 in 2025, which is over 800%, over 700% from where it is now. Okay, thank you. Time now 10:35 a.m. 10:35 a.m. on June 5, 2024. Touch this. Remember, after I touched it, I just stopped at 10:36 is the time now. Can see GNS, Nrde is now 1.57, brought up to 1.57. And then to match the GNS at 0.277, I'm gonna touch the Nrde so you can see it for yourself. You can see that it's now 1,000 shares has traded on it. 1,000 shares to get it to 1.57. Time now is 10:37 a.m. The reason why that has happened is to be able to match it to the 1.2 million. See that? See my app? Makes noise automatically. They match it to the 0.27 that is on the GNS. You can see that for yourself. That is where we are. And then for the AHT, you can see the volume is 40,000 shares. Can see that? 40,000 shares. That's the volume. Okay? Time 10. See that? 10:37 a.m. on June 5, 2024. 10:37 a.m. on June 5, 2024. As they do it, they monitor me to see what I do. Okay? Thank you. You see that? You see that? 0.2790, 1.57. Can see that? Time 10:44 a.m. 10:44 a.m. 10:44 a.m. June 5, 2024.
On one hand, the family has to be
You
fed.
see that?
Their usual meal consists of a thick millet puree.
There's no movement on the GNS or the AHT or the Nrde. You see that? The AHT is one that has moved a little bit, but nothing more. Guess what? The volume is about 40,000 shares. At the end of the day, because I'm not tweeting, that doesn't mean I'm not collecting the data. Time now is 10:51 a.m. on June 5, 2024. 10:51 a.m. 10:51 a.m. AHT volume.
The only way is to sell at the market.
As soon as I touch that and open this application up to watch that thing, you can see that 55,000 shares, 55.4k. That's the volume on AHT at 10:51 a.m. The volume on GNS is 1.4.
More well-off customers have the means to indulge in a few brightly colored knickknacks.
0.2791, and the volume on Nrde is 1.11 at 1.57.
The occasional sellers are. The atmosphere.
Consider for yourself. Now I just touched this. Time now is 10:52 a.m. I'll give it about a minute to 2 minutes, and then I'll come and update this, and you'll see where it is.
You get the feeling that they have brought their cooking to the market.
Consider that 1.1999 on the AHT. GNS is 0.2756, and Nrde is 1.57. Time is 11:00 a.m. 11:00 a.m. 6/5/2024. You see that? 1.1950, 0.2755, 1.57. You see that? Time 11:03 a.m. 11:03 a.m. June 5, 2024.
Absent till now. Emerge in the village.
Can see that?
First come the fiancés.
Can see
Some of
GNS
them have been engaged for a long time.
0.2777. Can see AHT. Nrde 1.57. You can see that for yourself.
Lady friends gather
Time
around 3 engaged women and go with them to where their
11:12.
in order to pay tribute.
11:12 a.m.
The good-natured bantering continues
11:12 a.m.
till they have
11:12 a.m. June 5, 2024. 11:12 a.m.
the fiancés
June 5,
squats on a future
2024.
husband's doorsill. Pray.
Time 11:14. 11:14 a.m.
Do all year long.
11:14 a.m. June 5, 2024. This is the first time GNS has returned to 0.2898,
And they do
and it's been down for 2 weeks, showing red. It doesn't matter even if it's green during the day, they must close it red.
a
Yesterday,
few coins.
it closed.
Sometimes small shells.
2 days ago, it was 0.2916. Yesterday, they closed it 0.2910. And you can see where it is now.
They will have collected the
See, I just stopped working, and they know that I am recording, and they quickly dropped it. You can see that back down to 0.2796. You see that? Time 11:15 a.m. 11:15 a.m. June 6, June 5, 2024. I'm going to touch this. to update the record.
means nothing to the balloon.
See that?
The balloon
53,000 shares. 53,000 shares.
You have the Tucson, you have the Siamo.
I'm going to touch this to update the record.
The balloon have another history.
1.6 million. There's always shares in here. Because don't forget, they have 200 million shares. This was 1,000 shares before, 1,077. Now, you can see that? 0.2750. As soon as I touch the GNS, can see that? And this is it's actually 1.19. 1.19. So 1,190 shares traded on this. And you can see what happened on GNS as soon as I touched it. Time 11:16. We're still at 11:16 a.m. See that? 11:16 a.m. June 5, 2024. 11:16 a.m. June 5, 20. You see that? Quickly goes right back up. Can see that? 0.2850. Can see that?
We don't have the same customs, he says.
To match that. Can see this?
All of their tribal rivalry, in fact,
Can see that? 0.2850. Can see that? To match the AHT at 1.1950. Can see that? Time 11:16 a.m. 11:17 a.m. right now. 11:17 a.m. right now.
They will have to wait till the end of May.
See that?
Most villages in the region cannot boast
See where we are?
even a small portion of river.
Time now
What's more,
11:31 a.m.
trees
2 hours into trading. This is where we are.
dropped compared to the
11:31 a.m. This is where we are.
The annual rainfall in
That's something, but the basics have to remain.
Time 11:42 a.m. 11:42 a.m. 11:42 a.m. You see that? 11:42 a.m. June 5, 2024. You can see as soon as I grab my camera and my mouse stopped moving, they tracked it, and you can see how AHT goes to 1.1948. That. Can see that? Can see that? Can see that? Can see that? 56,720 shares. Time 11:49. 11:49. 11:49. 11:49. 56,720 shares. Time 11:49. Can see this? 0.2750. And this is 1.19. Can see that? 1.1900. Can see that? 1.1950. 0.2750. Can see that? Time 11:49 a.m. on June 5, 2024. This stock has been here for the past 2.5 hours. I am going to open my Twitter now to tweet. And let's see what happens. Thank you. From 9:45. From 9:45, this stock has been here. This is the one that is 160. The Nrde has been at 1.17 to match the 0.57. A few minutes ago, I tweeted. Immediately after I hit post on that tweet, this stock, the Nrde, goes from 1.57 to 1.60. But we're looking at it right now. Time now is 12:15 p.m. 12:15 p.m. June 5, 2024. Time now is 12:22. 12:22. You can see the AHT is now 69,000 shares, 1222. I just touched it. It's now 1.1988. GNS is 1.22. I mean, this one, what they call it, Nrde is 1.22. And after I tweeted, they took it from 1.57 to 1.60 for the first time today. For the first time, I tweeted about 20 minutes ago, and it has been down there all morning until I tweeted. The GNS is the one that is here. You can see that 0.2751, and that's the one that they keep pushing down because that's where they have opportunity, you know, which is okay. All right, thank you. Time now is 2:23 p.m. 2:23 p.m. on June 5, 2024. As I started this, you can see that, you know, 1.19, see that? They quickly brought it to 70,000. You know, 70,000, you can see that? Touch it again, you can see that? Touch it again, see that? I touched it again, you can see how they quickly dropped it further again. 70,600. Okay, so I'm going to this was captured on camera, so I'm going to use it to update the entry I made. Time is 1:17 p.m. I just touched this, see that? Instantly as I touched it, you can see that? 113,000 shares. You can see that for yourself? 113,000 shares. You can see that? 113,000 shares. Okay? All right? See that? 1.1937, 0.2771. You can see that? Time 1.26 p.m. 1.26 p.m. June 5, 2024.
This time will take place over the next few weeks in the Kharkiv region. And interestingly, we're getting it this time from a Russian source.
1.57, 0.2740. You can see that? This is the GNS and AHT. I mean, GNS 0.27, Nrde 1.57. Time now 1:53 p.m. 1:53 p.m. on 1:53 p.m. on June 5, 2024. You can see that for yourself.
And which is now besieging
Okay.
and the threatening systems
See that?
to aircraft
Time
in Russia.
2:11 p.m. I just touched this. This was 118. I just touched it. You can see that immediately I touched it. It went to 117. 122,000 shares. You can see that? You can see that? 2:12 p.m. 2:12 p.m. 2:12 p.m. You can see that? 2:12 p.m. AHT. I just touched it. 1.17. GNS 0.27 and IHT 1.16. 1.17, 0.27, 1.56. You know, the volume was 122. The volume is now 129.5. Volume was 122. Volume is now 122, 129.5. See that? As soon as see that?
Its army on the front
As soon as
is now being eroded away.
GNS Nrde was at 1.56. See that? Can see that? 2.31. Time now is 2.31. 2.31. See? Can see how my thing has timed out. Time now is 3:08 p.m. I'm restarting the computer. I just restarted it, and you can see that I just restarted it. You can see that 139,000 shares. You can see that 139,000 shares, only 3,000 139, 106,000 shares has traded since that time. And this is where we are. Time now, 3:08 p.m. 3:08 p.m. 3:08 p.m. June 5, 2024. Consider after the last incident by 2:12, on which I have posted a tweet already, you can see AHT is now at 1.19. You know why that happened? Because suddenly Lost Town Motors is now at 1.70. And suddenly AHT is now back at 1.19. I posted multiple tweets to SEC at 2.12, and I posted some on my handle after they tracked me and then manipulated AHT numbers from 1.22 to 1.29 as soon as I touched my computer screen. So I am recording this with one hand and just capturing this with the other hand. Can you see that? Okay. Time now 3:16 p.m. 3:16 p.m. 3:16 p.m. June 5, 2024. June 5, 2024. This is the first time AHT will be at 1.19 since that incident of 2:12. See that? They dropped the AHT to 1.1790. You can see that? You can see all three. AHT 1.1790. Matching GNS at 0.2754. And then right at 1.17. 1.1790. 0.2754. 1.700. Time 3:23. 3.23. Can see that? 712 and then 1.1721. 1.1721. 0.2712. Can see that? Time 3.23. 3.23. Can see this? As soon as I posted, this is now 1.1750 to 750 17500. 329. 329. 329. 329. 329 June 5, 2024. You can see this. You can see that. AHT 1.1750, Nrde 1.7500, and GNS 0.24. You can see that they flipped it. It was initially 0.2750. I just posted something to our SEC. Immediately after that post, you can see what's going on. Immediately after I made that post on to SEC, you can see that they quickly dropped that stock from 1.17 to 1.16. The same 1.16, remember? And then yesterday they dropped it at 1.15. Hopefully they will do it again today. You can see that. Time now 3:37 p.m. 3:37 p.m. 3:37 p.m. June 5, 2024. 3:37 p.m. June 5, 2024. Still there. Can you see that? 1.17. Can you see that? 1.17, 0.27, 1.75. Can you see that for yourself? Can you see that? Can you see that? Time 3:41 p.m. 3:41 p.m. June 5, 2024. 3:41 p.m. June 5, 2024. Can you see that? I have already put an update on my Twitter on this. Can you see that? Can you see that? AHT 1.1733, GNS 0.2738, and Nrde 1.75. Can you see that for yourself? See that? Time 3:45 p.m. 3:45 p.m. on June 5, 2024. 3:45 p.m. June 5, 2024. Can see where we are. Time now 3:53 p.m. 3:53 p.m. on June 5, 2024. 3:53 p.m. Let me show you the volume we have on AHT. Can see that? See that? The coupled 180,000 shares. You can see that immediately as I touched it. You can see that immediately as I touched it. You can see that it goes to 1.71. You can see that immediately as I touched it. This is still where it is. 3.25 million shares. I'm sure people are killing them, because there's a lot of buys going on. You can see that. You can see that which is each touch. You can see that. As soon as I touched it, you can see that it goes to 1.1750, 1.1750, and then at 353 at 3.53, then drops to 1.16. Can see that? Can see that? Can see that? Time now is 3:54 p.m. So you can see where they closed this. This AHT closed at 1.1899. You can see GNS still down. You can see that. And Ride, Lost Town Motors, is at 1. See that? Lost Town Motors is at 1.1750 with no shares.
And in the signature style with the open lace girders, which allows the
You can see that? No news. There's really nothing except a pull up. But there's nothing here. You can see that?
Constructed. Was the whole thing just assembled here?
You can see that?
Was pre-assembled in the workshop.
I changed this.
Near Paris. The other half was hot riveted together.
Can see that?
Here in Garabin.
They routed this, apparently. See this? Can see that? Can see that? Okay, pause.